Thank you for joining us, dwangoAC. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
How are you doing today, sir?
So dwangoAC is out for a little bit. This is TheAxeMan.
Oh, hello, TheAxeMan. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, you may want to try push to talk.
Oh, what? It's push to... Is it not on?
I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Very much.
All right, we're just about ready here. Okay.
Alrighty then. Thank you very much.
You might want to sit back here.
The bleachers, I get it.
Come on. You want to be here, you gotta come. Okay, you're next to Sam.
I'm gonna have to slouch.
No, I'm gonna have to raise the camera up just a touch.
I'm next to Sam. Why can't I be on the couch?
There's not enough room visibly on the camera. So switch over. Okay, I think we have everybody. Is that high? Is that too high? Yeah, it's gonna have to do. You know what I can do? I can just barely drop this down. I hope that doesn't affect anything. Is that visible enough, guys? Okay, are we ready to go? Okay, so who do we have on commentary? TMR and... No, I need you in the back like I asked you to be. Thank you. Oh, wait, well, where am I? Oh, wait, we moved him out. I'm confused. He's doing commentary on the next run. Thank you. Okay, and who else was on commentary for the last Battletoads run? I forgot his name.
JC583.
Yeah, that's maybe get him in. Oh, okay, you're here. So we're actually, I think we have everybody. Take it off. Well, let me know when we go live, okay? I'm live? Well, sweet.
Hello?
Well, hello. I didn't know. Hi, I'm dwangoAC. I'm obviously a little confused. As is typical, we have more stuff going on than pretty much any other run. Sitting with me on the couch is the Mexican runner. This is Definisam and Rentendo.
But wait, I'm not the Mexican runner.
I'm sorry, no, not Mexican runner. This is the TheAxeMan. Sorry. This is the Mexican runner is on.
I'm sitting in the couch that is off the screen.
We have a digital couch.
We have a digital couch. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is hand the headphones over to the TheAxeMan, who's going to help with commentary on Battletoads. I won't be able to hear what the heck you guys are saying, but I'm going to assume it's going to be awesome. While playing back on the main screen, you guys will be seeing me working on console verification of Battletoads on this camera right over here. So I'm going to hand the headset over to the TheAxeMan, and we'll do a countdown. All right, here we go. No. I'm going to start this off in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Battletoads.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, wrong game.
Well, we have the hard start here, so we have to play through the whole intro rather than just skipping straight to the start screen.
Yeah, actually, it's impossible to make any input right here, but immediately, since this is a task, like they buffer the inputs just to make it as fast as possible. And where is the second player? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So the first big difference, they just entered the warp immediately. There's a warp there. And in here you will see a co-op really Well, you have dash jump, so one is booting to kill faster the rats, and here they synchronize the hit at the same time, so they save frames, and that is insane. It's possible to do. We only got it once in real time, but that's insane. So here's the glitch. So one toad dies and the game gets crazy. And time. Oh, what? Wait, what?
No, this will be all the stages. It won't
Oh,
be,
this will be. Oh.
yeah.
Oh wow! Well, one of
80%
the
though.
Oh, that's cool. We wanna jump in to explain what's going on in the screen because oh man.
Yeah, this is 2 players warps, and so we're in the ice cave, and they're gonna do some different glitches.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
One
What's
of
going on with the screen there?
There's some out of bounds. There's screen palette switching, and I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in the level.
Well,
Oh,
actually, the stage is in theory the same, except that at certain points it gets messed up, like the screens. They didn't, did they?
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe one day we'll be that fast. That was.
do you see that slowdown? That is lag, man. Wow. Nice.
It's forced because there's so much on screen.
Wow. So one toad was going down, so the screen scrolls down, and the other one stayed in top to grab the warp as fast as possible. So in here they have nothing to do, just wait for the snake. So that is something you cannot avoid.
I like the reverse air headbutt you did there.
Yeah, that's
So in a TAS, it's great. You get to show off on these auto scrollers. So, you know, sometimes you get an auto scroller and it's kind of lame and you can wait, but you get to show off in a TAS.
probably in the second screen is gonna be a really awesome headbutt to kick the other person to the warp, like right there.
Oof.
So one died, but you have downtime to grab the warp before it respawns you. And here, if you press up and down, I think
Left and right.
It's actually left and right.
left and right, yeah, you can just get that. Unfortunately, one has to die there, so as soon as they reach that checkpoint, oh wow.
So the death and respawn kind of gets you back on normal.
This is the dream run, man. They're just basically
Yeah.
playing like one single mind. It's just impossible to do in the 2 players, like you abuse from a glitch. Oh wow. You can bypass those electricities by doing like a ledge cancel jump. Oh, and look at this roll, man, it's fine. If you think what I did was sick, look at that. Those ground punches are RNG normally, but this is a TAS. This is a TAS.
So if you think the speed run strats are crazy, this is the skill ceiling that you're looking at right here. This is something that we aspire to be as speedrunners, but
This is the
can't
out of
because we're
this
not
is the out-
robots.
This is the out of bounds that I was trying, but since the game is in 2 players, it lags the hell out. They kill one, so he just crossed the checkpoint. Unfortunately, you have to cross all the checkpoints in order to progress. So lucky for us, we will get to see this. We were talking about the skipping of the barrier. Oh, so if you mash like, oh, nice.
I bet we could learn that, TMR. Next time we do a go-up, we could learn that. That looked
Well,
cool.
Yeah, actually, with PJ, I was able in the water wheel. I'm sure they're gonna do it. Like one of the toes goes ahead of the wheel, but in here, wow!
Another chance to show off since we got, you know, an auto.
Oh wow, that out of bounds was crazy.
Nice. Yes.
What? They
So-
press those left and right inputs. So right now, like the you probably wondering what's going on. Like they basically scroll up the screen. So like all what's going on is a little bit off. Like
Their
yeah,
ground plane is it's going to be slightly higher than normal because they press left and right at the same time. So what it is the ground is not quite what the sprite says it is, and they're able to go through spikes as a result of that because the game thinks there's no spikes there because the ground is up there.
And there it is, like the green toad is ahead of the wheel, but the other one is behind. And what was that? Oh, one went behind. Oh, this is
Yeah.
crazy. This is
You gotta
crazy.
think of it. You gotta think in terms of the ground is up there.
Nice. You can throw
What on earth?
your friend, because why not? So it's possible to get out of bounds like that.
Oh, hey, look! I
He
think we
died
found
there.
hell.
Yeah.
By the way, I'd like to interject. TASBot just finished the entire game. on the real physical console.
Oh, what?
How?
What?
Wait, what?
Do you have any explanation for that? Because I have no idea. I'm watching the normal speed here.
The explanation is I did a different run that does a much faster execution. And yes, we really did already beat the entire game on this physical console with this cartridge here.
There is
Faster
a
than
glitch.
this?
There's a game-end glitch that can be console verified.
That's insane. There's a glitch that is possible to do in 2 players. Like if you pick up the toad and jump, like you get that. At the end, you throw the toad down, so you still want to hit the rat. Huh?
My theory there is the screen is screen wrapping the upper toad, so that the toad is like wraps to the bottom of the screen, and the game thinks that the toad is down there and therefore falls. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true, but that's my theory.
That was an intentional day by the second player. Unfortunately, in the US version, there's a bug that doesn't let you to play together co-op, the Klinger Winger, so one has to die there. So it apparently game over, but it will be back. Unfortunately, this level, it's an auto-scroller, so pretty much, I think, in case you want to add something to the commentary, I think this is a great time to read donations.
It's a great time, yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Anonymous, for the very generous $1,000 donation.
Ooh,
Yes.
$1,000 donation.
$1,000. Thank you.
1,000, nice.
1,000. Nice.
Woo!
And thank you very much, Beer in Heaven, also for the $1,000 donation.
Wow.
Wow.
You gotta get some people fed tonight.
Yep. That is the purpose.
Correct.
Indeed. Thank you very much, everyone, for continuing to donate to such a worthy cause. Whether big or small, all donate. Thank you very much, Obi-Wat Kenobi, for the $100 donation. I have to donate during the TAS block because it's always crazy and always awesome and always fun.
I'm just so happy this is the TAS block. Battle, it's like a dream come true, man.
Nice.
So
2 people just donated $1,000 in a row.
Yeah, very cool.
That's awesome.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious about the ore fight. Like you saw the ore fight I got, and this is gonna be slightly faster, but not that much. Oh, it's possible to do that. Scroll the
Let's
screen
see.
to the left. Yeah, let's see the ore fight.
Reverse headbutt at the start, of course.
Of course. So you can move 1 pixel in between headbutts, and that is the perfect. I got. Oh, he moved 1 back. That was cool. Too fast, man. Still too fast. And you can
fast.
go to the left side.
Yep.
I'm
So Player 2
curious
entered back in the dialogue screen, and now he's in the game.
because there's the 2 players. It's gonna be a little bit more lag. You will see it kind of slow down. What was that?
One thing I did want to say about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, behind the tower, yeah, behind the tower trick. Awesome.
I love it.
But
Works
that
like a tread.
reduces lag. That really reduces lag. Wow, that's insane. Like they're just killing the rhino. Like 4 hits there. Just.
That's kind of like how we killed the flying pig in stage 1 back at the marathon.
Yep. This is
Instant hit. I love this. Look at this.
This is just not. I mean, JC and me, we have the current world record for this co-op in Warfless and 80%, and what we do is we abuse of a different glitch, but man, watching the 2 toads and also like no lag at all, it's just insane. It's just insane.
This is the skill ceiling.
Skill ceiling, huh?
So there is
Only
the
barely
famous
hear
lag.
what's going on over those headphones.
There was one thing I wanted to mention at Klinger Winger, was that it actually works in the TAS, in the PAL version. You can actually, like in the PAL version, I believe that's the original version that got tested correctly. So you don't game over, and player 2 can move in that stage. But unfortunately, we don't use that version for speedruns because it's slower. It actually runs slower, about 5/6 of the speed of the American version, and that's why we speedrun on this version.
Yep. Yeah, it was also said like the US version was made intentionally harder so people who were renting Blockbuster were not able to beat the game like in a few hours. And I think nobody actually did beat the game ever. So they did a great job of making it hard. Well, and now the Dark Queen. They're just kitchens.
Gotta keep it off the ground. And that's it.
That's it.
That's Battletoads.
DMR, I think that queen fight was better than yours.
It was. They didn't let her up.
That's so awesome. Okay, so as these credits are rolling, I want to show that this is the console capture. This is the real console output that I've forked. So you can see we really did, while we were running the real game, the full-length game, TASBot with this cartridge was also able, separately to game in glitch. The full run that you just watched was from feos and MESHUGGAH, and the game in glitch. Who's the credits on that one? I should know this right off the top of my head.
I think it's also feos.
So feos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inevitably, they're going to make fun of me for not knowing this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is switch away from Battletoads. We're going to go to Super Monkey Ball. That'll require a small bit of tech rework. So we'll be back live in just a moment while we get the commentary switched over and the screen switched. So give us just one moment. Thank you. How'd that go, guys?
That went amazing.
I was not
everything
expecting
fine.
that it would be warpless, man. Wow. I'm so happy to see that.
It was warpless, just not wrong warpless.
Did I play the wrong file? Was it? It was supposed to be warps, wasn't it?
Oh, that was the warps. That was 2 players. Warps.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That was only one.
It took warps. He meant to say wrong warp.
Oh, okay. Very glad.
Oh yeah, it was with warp. Sorry.
So now I'm going to switch over to Super Monkey Ball 2. I don't have TASBot on the screen in this one. Does everything look correct there?
Dwango, are we gonna do commentary? I don't think so, right? There's other people.
No, we need to switch out Cyclops
Okay.
and Jeff.
Yeah, so
And hey, TMR.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh no problem, man. Thanks to you. Like really, when I miss Battletoads, I'm always in. JC is always in. So thank you, JC, as well. Like really.
And
No
JC,
problem.
thank you. It was awesome. Having the two of you made it just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we know the game a lot. We know the game a lot, but that task level is just beyond
Even with all of our
comprehension.
With all of our knowledge, all we could do is be just a presence. It was too fast to even commentate. It's like, oh, that happened. Well, okay, it's gone now. And the next thing's happening. Oh, it's gone now.
So,
Oh yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
oh, okay.
Thank you very much for all the commentary, everyone.
Did
Very
not
good
know
job.
that. Okay, well, I'm going to move over to Monkey Ball now. Thank you. Okay, so I think we're getting Cyclops and Jeff on to do commentary for Super Monkey Ball 2.
Yeah, hello, I'm Cyclops Dragon. Jeff's muted.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Hi guys.
Okay, I'm going to... So I guess we're live? Is that true?
Yeah, we've been live the whole time.
Not what I expected. So I just made a total fool of myself, but that's okay. This is what it looks like behind the scenes. What I'm going to do is play back a recording. We're doing this in Dolphin. The emulator is amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about why we can't do disk-based runs in just a second. So that'll just clear the screen. We'll play, and here we go. So start the timer. Sorry if there wasn't a countdown.
Main game, challenge mode.
Alright, so Super Monkey Ball 2 is a physics-based platformer game, and it has a lot of movement tech to increase your speed. And we're going to do two important things in this first level. First is going to be wall boosting, bouncing off the walls, and the second is going to be clip, race the goal platform. And basically, these two movement tech combined are what make up the majority of the speed gain in this run. So, we'll explain a bit about those later, but essentially, most of the movement tech in this game involves gaining speed and maintaining that momentum and transferring it into other things.
So you'll see that with like clipping, you use clipping like especially lower clips to build momentum, especially like on Mad Shuffle right there. You get a small clip that pushes you forward, and then you just get a bunch of little low clips off the shuffle platform, and helps you go fast.
So this is the first real TAS strat of the run on this level jump machine.
This level's nuts. So what happens here is you get hit down towards the piston, and when you get hit towards an object that's also moving towards you, you end up gaining more speed than if it hit you in stationary. And so combining that with moving at diagonals, which is one of the big movement things, is if you move at diagonals, you move faster in this game. So by moving at a diagonal and holding back right, I believe, the entire way up, you end up getting all the way to the top of that level, which has never been done on console. It's insane.
Yeah, so moving diagonals increases your acceleration and also makes you fall a little bit slower, which helps in that level. And on this level, you're going to see you don't necessarily need to break the goal tape to get the goal. You can go in between the goal frame and the party ball and still be considered to have beaten the level.
Yeah, and on this level on Punch Seesaws, you're going to see another interesting finish where you don't necessarily go through the tape, you go through the side of the goalpost, and that's on some levels, if you're going fast enough, it just ignores the collision of the goalpost.
Yeah,
completely.
So essentially the way collision in this game works is it checks once per frame, and it doesn't check in between those frames. So with high enough speeds and changing angles, you can manipulate lower or higher clips off of edges, or you can completely ignore collision, not only with edges, but also with, as you've seen, with goalposts.
Yeah, ripping the goalpost is probably one of my favorite unintended ways of finishing a level.
Mm-hmm. So just to explain something about the physics in this level, if you pay attention, you'll notice that it looks like the levels are tilting as the game is controlled. That's actually purely a visual effect. You can disable that using external devices, and the game still plays exactly the same. But the physics of the game is designed around it looking like it's tilting.
It's really uncomfortable.
So basically,
tilt off.
Falling while moving forward gains more speed than going up would lose. So by getting launched up, you can gain speed.
Okay, this is one of the craziest strats, and this is probably my favorite strat in the entire TAS run of this game. Just by essentially grinding on the inside of the spiral, it's just, I don't know, it's nuts.
Yeah. So that's what curves do at low speeds, but at high speeds, curves can do things like this, where they bounce you off of them for seemingly no reason. And that happens because curves aren't perfect in this game, because that would take too many polygons, it would make the game lag. So instead they're made of multiple straight parts, and because of that, and the game's wonky collision detection, as we mentioned before, you can get bounces up and gain even more speed off of curves than you really should be able to.
Again, going back to the low clips, there's another example of just building a ton of momentum forward by getting the lowest possible clips. This is a really fun strat. This uses the moving towards moving objects momentum thing we talked about for Jump Machine.
And it's also going to make use of ignoring collision by going really fast.
So that's just an insanely awesome strat.
And that one was new to the TAS as well.
Yeah.
The beginning, at least.
I think this one was new.
This one was a new version of the other strat. Yeah. It's a very precise collision off of that edge on the side to get enough height to bounce off of the platform. And on this level here, you're going to see another great example of the way that curves work, or to be more precise, how they don't work. They're not
Well, they
curves.
work for our advantage.
Exactly. A lot of bounces that really shouldn't be possible just carry you straight into the goal in what is actually an incredibly difficult strat to pull off.
I mean, just watching this, I mean, we're both just sitting here dumbfounded. I've watched this run several times, and some of the tricks are just insane.
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased, but this is probably this and the Monkey Ball 1 TAS are probably my two favorite TASes.
Yeah, so one thing that we didn't mention is an actual regular mechanic of the game is warp goals. Basically, the red goal takes you 2 levels ahead, or 3 levels ahead rather. It skips 2 levels. The green goal takes you 2 levels ahead, skipping 1 level, and the blue goal is just the regular goal. Not all
and
levels
you'll
have
see,
goals.
so you'll see on 8 bracelets there, that's the fastest possible strat for the red goal. So it's not necessarily what beats the levels fastest, what gets through the run fastest. So you'll see another example of that a little bit later, where we ignore a red goal and go to a green goal because the route's faster that way.
Mm-hmm. this strat is always a crowd pleaser in marathon runs.
Yeah. Entangled Path is really awesome. Again, just getting like the lowest possible hit off of the little like connector piece there on the arm.
Yeah. And Entangled Path is kind of dwarfed in the TAS by this level, which gets an incredibly precise collision that's basically only possible in that position that the TAS gets it, that sends you up and forward for seemingly no reason.
No, it is actually like that is the only position on Vortex that you can get that clip. Anywhere else doing that same strat will just send you either to like really far to the left, or you'll just go over the collision area.
And it's not even like that one section. It's literally like only a corner where two parts of the collision.
It's probably like a collider. Like it's one single polygon on like the arm that moves. On Swing Shaft there, you saw how you get on top of the blocks there. And what happens when you get on top of the blocks is there's very like low collisions happening, and then you build up enough momentum to where you just kind of ignore that gap and rip the goalpost.
Mm-hmm. So as soon as that's a good point, let me know when there's going to be a period where I can talk about why we're doing this in Dolphin and not on the real console.
Now's probably fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so it won't take long to explain this. Basically, a GameCube has optical media, a spinning disc, and a spinning disc depends on when you what orientation you put the disc in, how fast the spindle motor is, how reliable the laser is at different temperatures. The long and the short of it is that we can't get reliable synchronization on disc-based consoles because we can't guarantee that the disc is always going to behave the same way, be read the same way, etc. So at this time, GameCube can't, and any other disc-based console cannot be console verified. We're looking at options of doing it with solid-state drives or something like that. We'd obviously have to modify the console slightly just to replace the media. But for the moment, this is playing in Dolphin under a virtual machine. I've got Linux on the host operating system and Windows on the guest, and this is actually running with PCI pass-through. So if you ever hear any weird glitches, that's because we are playing this in Dolphin on the emulator live. I'll leave it to these guys to take over commentary from here, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knew why we were doing this in an emulator in the first place.
Yeah, so you might have noticed on Orbiters that we didn't actually go through the goal in any sense, and that's a very strange thing that happens sometimes where you can get pushed against the party ball, and that manages to break the goal tape, and you get pushed back out the front.
Yeah, it's called a glitch goal.
And
I know, creative, right?
Yeah, if you save the replay and look at it, it never breaks the goal tape, and then the monkey, instead of launching up into the air after the level, is just sort of stuck spinning in place.
Yeah, it's weird. So, like what Cyclops said, it happens when you get a goal, but at the same time, the party ball pushes you out the front of the goal. And because the replay system in this game just essentially records your inputs and records the inputs that were made, it shows the level as not being completed by breaking the goal tape, but you finishing the level. It's really interesting. So Strata here, this is like probably one of the most annoying levels in the game, but it involves a really, really cool grind similar to Spiral Bridge. We grind, the TAS just grinds the inside of that, and that's just incredibly precise. Giant Swing, I believe, is one of the bigger improvements over the real-time record in this TAS, and it's insane. Just the amount of precision that goes into this. 5 drums here's I believe an all new strat, or it was a new strat.
Yeah, I don't actually know if anyone's done it. I don't think anyone's done it on console since the TAS came out.
So it's a TAS only strat. It's pretty nuts.
And this is the level where we make Shaq jealous.
Make Shaq jealous?
Because you can actually hit a free throw.
That's really fun to watch.
That strat's actually really fun.
That's very precise as well.
But it's also really fun because you just get the lowest possible hit.
And this level has a gigantic rotating maze that we're just going to ignore.
Dude, ignoring mazes is like my favorite part of my day.
The best part about speedrunning is that we get to ignore mazes. And now this is the last level in the Expert Extra, which means that after this we're going to be moving on to the Master levels.
Train Worm is one of those levels where as a kid I never knew how to beat it. I thought you had to get on top of the thing. And so I tried futilely to do that for, a couple days.
Yeah,
a couple days.
I believe Train Worm actually has the longest repeating cycle of any level in the game. It has a 25-second animation cycle.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow.
So it only repeats 2 times and then 1 partial time.
Yeah. Swing Bridge is a real... Oh, you can go ahead. No,
it is a really great collision abuse where we just hit off of the corners of all of these levels. It's a really great example of how we can gain speed from very minute hits.
And also the fact that the parts that you're hitting are moving, so it adds to that as well.
Exactly.
Pass is a level. It's a level. The strat's pretty straightforward there.
Yeah. Intermittent, on the other hand, is a perfect example of getting either really low clips or no collision whatsoever.
Yeah, and that goes back to the whole collision's only checked, X number of times, and sometimes you just go over like what would be a collision plane and just completely ignore it. Long Taurus is probably actually my favorite strat, though. This is probably
The
my
Twitch chat
favorite.
thinks my daughter was being a vampire. She was not. that was Nintendo just being Nintendo.
Do you have any mirrors in your house? We could prove it.
No.
Forget
That's a
about
good
it.
point.
So coming up is probably one of the two, if not the most precise strat in the entire TAS. You might actually notice it's the TAS is going to let off for a few frames, just a slight twitch right there.
Oh
in
yeah,
order to
that
get
the
the
very
exact
slight
position.
twitch
Exact
right
position that they
before the bounce.
And this is the only time in the TAS that we make use of a bumper. Bumpers are very wonky in their collision and the way they bounce you, but with some clever movement, you can manipulate them and put them to very good use.
It was pretty
So now-
impressive.
Now we have the last few levels of the run. This is Master Extra. The next level, you'll see the routing, I guess, difference.
Yeah.
Where we
is the
don't
only
go to
level
the
where-
fastest possible goal.
Basically, it would technically be faster in terms of the time to get the red goal here, but we don't
this
want the
is-
red goal.
Yeah, because this is
The
a
green
full
goal-
game run. We're gonna go to the green goal. The green goal takes you to planets, and on planets, there's a red goal.
And you're
so
going to
it's
see
just
some
faster.
diagonal movement in the air to just make us move a tiny bit farther forward.
Yeah.
The drawback to that is that you land slightly later, so when it's not necessary, it's faster to not use it. But in that case, it is necessary. And there are a lot of warp goals in Master Extra, so despite the fact that there are 10 levels in Master Extra, we only play 6 of them.
Yeah. Disney system has
Apparently
a
Twitch chat is really obsessed about vampires. There's no vampires in the house.
No.
that we know of.
Out of
Yes.
The final level in the
Last level.
game, unfortunately, is an auto-scroller, so we're just going to have a little
Actually-
bit of fun.
Actually, I think it's fortunate for the TAS, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's
Great
really
way to end the
cool.
TAS.
Yeah, I
We're supposed to
agree.
Get up here, by the way. This is supposed to be inaccessible.
Yeah. That's why the collision on it's really wonky.
You can see the monkey sort of like
Yeah.
merging in with it.
I just love the clip off the controller port.
Yeah, that's the only way they could get back on it,
Yeah,
I believe. And time is coming up very soon.
I'll let you call time.
time.
Awesome. I love that run.
It's great. It's a great one. I'm a little bit biased, but it's still great.
That's amazing. Well, first of all, I want to tell everyone who provided commentary for both runs. There were so many people. JC, I think was his name.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know what his Twitch name is. And then, of course, the Mexican runner. If you're not following him, you should be. Of course, we've got Cyclops and Jeff, Geoff. Or I'm sorry, Geff. Yeah. That's how you
Geoff.
Geoff. Jeff. I am on Twitch as dwangoAC. Are you on Twitch these days?
I am not.
Yeah. This is TheAxeMan on TAS Videos. By all means, feel free to follow. Feel free to stop by tasvideos.org for more tool-assisted speedruns just like this. Thank you so much for watching. That concludes the TAS block for today. Take care.
All right. Thank you very much.